Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Friday, October 27th, 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. Troops deployed, suspect identified, economy growing, and the Beatles release a new song. That's all coming up. Then Bill will be here with your message of the day. But first, the Pentagon says 900 U.S. troops have deployed or are deploying to the Middle East. These forces are from Fort Bliss, Texas, Fort Sill, Oklahoma, Fort Liberty, North Carolina, and Fort Cavazos in Texas. Reports are that Israeli tanks have briefly entered Gaza. And Hamas says, by the way, I don't believe anything Hamas says. I only report it to you so you are aware of the propaganda they are putting out. But they say that 50 of the 220 or so hostages have been killed by the Israeli airstrikes, they say. More information of the mass murder, the suspected mass murder in Maine. The shootings were in 2 locations, not 3, that was originally reported. At least 18 people dead, 13 injured in Lewiston, Maine. He's wanted for 8 counts of murder because 8 of the victims have been identified and their families notified. I'm not going to say his name here. I don't want to give him or any mass shooters any notoriety. If you live near Maine, you know his name. He's 40. He enlisted in the U.S. Army Reserves. And it was reported that he was a firearms instructor at first, but that seems not to be the case. Officials say he heard voices and threatened to shoot up a military base in Maine and was sent to a mental health facility for 2 weeks this last summer. The Army Reserve said he was, quote, behaving erratically and was sent to an Army hospital at West Point. The U.S. economy grew way too fast last quarter, 4.9% in the 3 months ending in September. That means way higher interest rates are coming, because the Fed needs to slow down the economy much more than this. It was 2.1 growth the previous quarter. Now, usually, of course, growth is good, but when inflation is a major issue, then it is not. The Bureau of Economic Analysis says people spent more money on medical appointments, prescription drugs, eating out, and cars. The last Beatles song is going to be released on November 2nd. This song comes from a batch of unreleased demos that were written by John Lennon. 2 of those songs were released in the 90s by the rest of the band, Free as a Bird and Real Love. They wanted to release this song, but the technology wasn't there to do it. But now we have the technology to separate Lennon's original vocals from the piano in the demo. McCartney and Ringo completed the track. The song is Now and Then, released on November 2nd. And friendly reminder, you can read all about John Lennon in Bill O'Reilly's book, Killing the Legends. I'm Mike Slater. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bill O'Reilly's here with your message of the day. Next.
If you or your business is falling behind filing your tax returns, or if you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The Biden administration just unveiled an $80 billion plan to modernize the IRS and reduce the unpaid tax debt. Are you tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments? You do not have to face the IRS alone. Hire Anthem Tax Services. They can help you settle your delinquent tax problems and all collections, and may even be able to reduce your back taxes significantly. If Anthem Tax Service cannot reduce your current monthly payment with the IRS or state, or they don't put you in a better position, you might qualify for the 100% money back guarantee. Please call Anthem Tax Services 800-810-9193, 800-810-9193, 800-810-9193. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Friday, as predicted, the speaker issue has been resolved, but not without some blood. With the Democratic leadership now almost completely progressive, Republicans are the only ones who can stop future bleeding in this country, to stay on the fluid imagery. Congressman Gates and his staunch right-wing conservative crew succeeded in booting Kevin McCarthy from the speakership. But what did that really accomplish? Gates has to know that reform cannot happen unless at least a few Democrats are persuaded. Apparently, the Matt Meister doesn't much care about that. Going forward, I have no blanket idea how Louisiana Congressman Mike Johnson will handle his new job. If he is more successful than McCarthy, I'll apologize to Gates. But the truth is that Washington remains a sanctuary for far-left politicians bent on destroying American traditions. That's what the open border is really all about. The far left also spending the nation into bankruptcy and attempting to change social mores. So again, the Republicans better start selling their philosophy and knock off the divisive stuff. November 2024, 1 year away. And we need a change in this country dramatically. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Okay, let's go to the mail. Larry Cassiano, Syracuse, New York. Any chance the Palestinians will form a resistance to fight Hamas? No. Palestinian people don't have anything. All right, they've been exploited for 50 years, 70 years. Hamas has all the guns, and they live under a dictatorship. Anybody resisting can get the head chopped off. Susie Talbert, Fayetteville, Georgia. Bill, I fear you missed the real reason McCarthy got booted from the speakership. He promised to finish all appropriations bills before the deadline. Not only did he not do that, he permitted a 5-week vacation. Okay, look, you can find things that McCarthy did wrong. But the fact is, out of 221 Republican members of the House, 8 were responsible for his getting fired. No. If he was that bad, it would have been a lot more than 8. Mike Johnson, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm trying to be better, but if I had a friend that supported an open border, I don't know if I continue being friends with that person. I understand. Depends how valuable a person's friendship is. If the person is great in every other issue, then you just say, well, I have my opinion, you have yours, and we'll talk about the Mets. Does anybody talk about the Mets? Or anything else? But if the person's a marginal person, it's annoying. The extreme positions are annoying. Christopher Schroeder of Amelia, Ohio. I was researching some healthy food recipes, and I am a type 2 diabetic, and I came across eatingwell.com. Christopher, I took it. It was in Smart Life, and I wanted to give you credit. If you have Smart Life tips, send them to me like Chris did. Very important. In a moment, something you might not know. If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. This protection plan is at an all-time low in price. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 165 years ago today, a baby boy was born to a socialite family in Midtown Manhattan. By his 42nd birthday, he would become the 26th President of the United States. Here is the story of Theodore Roosevelt. Young Teddy was a sickly child. He suffered from asthma, muscle spasms, migraine headaches. Despite doctor's orders to remain in bed, Teddy overcame his health issues by going outside, playing sports, boxing. He later attended Harvard College and was elected to the New York State Legislature after he graduated. In February 1884, Teddy Roosevelt suffered a catastrophic tragedy. Both his mother and his wife died on the same day. Stricken by grief, Roosevelt abandoned politics. He packed up his life, bought a cattle ranch in the Dakota Territories. After a blizzard wiped out the ranch, Teddy returned to the East Coast. He fought in the Spanish-American War, then served as governor of New York. Roosevelt was later selected as Republican William McKinley's vice presidential running mate. In 1901, McKinley was assassinated, making Roosevelt the youngest president in history. TR's tenure, 1901 to 09, is known for environmental conservation. For a decade, the federal government created national parks, national forests, and established historic monuments across the country. In total, Teddy Roosevelt saved 230 million acres of land. After his time in the White House, he launched scientific expeditions into the jungles of South America. He died in 1919 at the age of 60. And here's something else you might not know. Roosevelt was a very tough guy. He once gave a campaign speech with a bullet lodged in his chest. After being shot by a deranged man in Milwaukee, Teddy Roosevelt refused to cancel the speech. He delivered the address in a blood-stained shirt. Back after this. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.